I have the Blade 350 QX3 ready to fly, which comes with a DX4 radio transmitter. It is the aerial camera platform. It does not come with a camera, but it is camera ready. And instead of buying the AP combo, which was another $500, I decided on buying the GB200 gimbal and the GoPro to add as a package. What I bought the GoPro for was so I could use this in other applications. It seems like the AP combo was pretty much stuck to keep it on the blade, so that's why I went ahead and did this. But the video today is going to show you how to install this setup. So I went, and to start off, there is a wire that comes with this version. It's actually a plug that is meant for the AP combo, and it just hangs here. So I want to remove that. In order to remove it though, since it will not, when you pull off the short landing gear, the plug is not going to be able to slide through the landing gear. So you can either cut the landing gear once this is removed and pull it out, but then you still have it connected to the QX3 inside. So there's 3 wires, 2 of them plug into the board, and one of them is soldered into the board. So you have to cut that soldered one. So in order to do that, you have to remove the body or split the body in half and cut that wire. You could do it here and just tuck it up in there, but I'm going to remove the body so I can make sure it doesn't ever come back out. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in order to take the QX3 apart, is to remove the blades in order to allow the body to come apart. There is an arrow on the prop, and there's an arrow corresponding on the arm as well. It shows you which way to go. Just take note of that. The gray ones are on the back, the red ones are on the front. Now the GB200 comes originally with the Seago camera mount, but since I'm going to be using the GoPro 4, I'm going to need to put this camera mount on there. And that's fairly easy to do. This is the mount that I'm going to use that mounts to the quad, and then the gimbal mounts to it. I need the screwdriver in this pack in order to remove the compass. The compass has to be removed because it needs to come off, because the landing gear is going to come off. To remove the landing gear, there's one Allen bolt right here. And that simply comes right out. Now you have to unplug the compass in order for the plug to come through the landing gear, or you could cut it if you wanted, but just pull on the plug and hold the compass board. There you go. This is where you're going to have to wait and cut the 3rd wire in order to get it to come through, or you could cut the landing gear here to allow the 3 wires to come through, but I'm not going to do that. So now I have all the screws out, and I'm going to pull the top piece off and then just move it aside. It's connected by the GPS wire. Now with the body apart, you can see where the 3 wires come up through, which is connected to the camera wire, but that's what I want to remove. So in order to do that, you can simply remove this plug here, but the 3rd wire, for whatever reason, runs down here and then is actually soldered to the board behind right here. It's directly under there. So not wanting to desolder that, I'm just going to cut it off and tape it and tuck it into the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pair of wire cutters, and I'm going to make sure that I have that wire that's soldered onto the board here, and I'm going to cut it. So I've already marked it. So now I can pull it through, and now I will tape this wire off and just tuck it inside, and then I won't have this dangling anymore. So if you take a look in the bag here with all of the different wiring configurations, gives you lots of options. I'm going to be using the wire setup that has the 3 wires in it. There's only one of them that has 3 wires, brown, red, and orange. This is what I'm going to eventually connect to the board where the original wire came out of, and then we replace it with this, with brown being on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this. I could connect this later if I wanted to, but it is quite easy to do it now. And I will show you how to do it while the body is on with a pair of tweezers. I just run that through like that. There you go. So now I'm just going to tape this cut piece of wire, and it's still soldered from the original solder in case, well, I ever want to put the AP package together or resell or whatever. So I'm just going to tape this together and then tuck it in here. I'm going to replace the top half. There you go, we're done. So then, I'm going to get my tall landing gear, BLH 8105. Secured together with one screw right there. this side, just have the one wire goes through here. Secured with one screw. And then the compass wire just gets pressed into these grooves here. It's like pinched in there. You could push it right in there all the way up. Stick your fingernail in there. Then you take your screwdriver that came with the GB200 and secure your compass. This is the mount that I'm going to use. It has 4 posts, and the tallest post goes in the front. Set it in these 4 holes right here. And in your bag, you're going to have the mounting screws. Okay, now I'm going to replace the Seago camera mount with the included GoPro mount. And what you do is you line up these 2 slots. And inside is an Allen head bolt underneath the wire. Pull that, slide this out. Then you have to slide off this gyro board . This gyro board is held onto this plate with double-sided tape. You have to pry that board off and put it on the GoPro plate. So what I use is a very small flat-headed screwdriver. Very carefully pry this off. There you go. Now you have to be very careful with these wires. They're very thin. And then just reroute them up this place here. So they go in there nice and neat. Now you have to remember to take off the Allen bolt or a screw and replace it onto this one. But don't tighten it up, just get it in there started. Make sure all the wires are tucked in there, that none of them are hanging out. You do not want to pinch one of the wires off. There you go. Then, I'm just going to wrap the wires around the shaft one time. Then slide it on. Tightening up that screw. There you go. It has this extra secure feature. So now, you take your gimbal, and it always goes on like this. It slides in to the grooves, onto the mount, and slides back. Just like that. Push it till it stops, and there you go. Now, you take the wire, and you're going to place it into this socket right there. Now, if you didn't want to go through all the trouble of taking the body off to remove that white wire I was telling you about, you could get a pair of pliers, and with a pair of pliers you can reach in here and pull that plug up or put it in. So just to let you know that without having to remove the body, you could do that, and you could put it in those pins as needed. Okay, now I changed the position of the camera so you could actually see the quad level, and you'd be able to see the gimbal initialize. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn on the included DX4, and then I'm going to turn on the quad, and you'll see the gimbal initialize. Now, at any time while the quad is not in the air, I can turn the gimbal control switch here, and then I can control the gimbal, the up or down. It's trying to find GPS at this point, but it will still do whatever I ask while it's on the ground. Now once I fire the quad up, interesting, the gimbal will only be controlled for 5 seconds. And then it will not be controlled anymore unless 5 more seconds. Five more seconds. So you have to know this when you're in the air, or it will frustrate you. There you have it.